Welcome to Unit 2 Project Tips for Success. This page shows all of Unit 2, and we are going to focus in on the assignment, as that is what I am presenting about in this presentation. When you go to the Unit 2 homepage, you will see all of the components of Unit 2. This page is the assignment page, and this is where the directions for your assignment starts. I want to point out the resources, because you are also going to need to review the resources. There are multiple sources of information that you need to gather on this assignment. So here we start with some of the directions, and I've already scrolled down somewhat, but your whole job is that you are an epidemiologist. You are researching to find out what has happened to the kids and why they're out sick. And you are given a large amount of data that you need to use in order to determine what information you need to put in the PowerPoint, which is what you're using. I also want to let you know that you can add pages to the PowerPoint. And I do recommend that you do, because it's very hard to fit in everything that you need on just, I think they provide you with 6 slides. 2 more slides would probably be in your best interest. Here is one of the things that you need to click on and review. Now this slide is one of the links from the direction page, and this is presenting to you the 4 schools and their data. Now you can create graphs. Some students even take a copy of the graph and put it in their project. You don't have to. I don't really expect it. Some students do it because they like the way it adds to their presentation. Now when you do this, you can just select to see certain things. You don't have to click them all, but if you want to tick off one, Truman Middle School, that's all a 7th grade. Jackson Middle School, you have all the same choices. PE classes, band classes, and art classes. You are supposed to figure out why students are out sick. You've got to look at what classes, what is the attendance data. Those are just some of the things. One other important one is the restaurant inspections. So that's another piece of data. This page is the letter from the health department. This is the first piece of information that you are being provided. And this is from the Department of Health, and there's a letter from the principal, and then there's also the school's website. There's some data that you can read there. There are many places to click. Some of them work and some of them do not. You don't need them all, but I suggest that you review every click and see if there is any information in that form or link that it's taking you to. So this is describing one of the first tasks that you're going to be doing, and you're looking at the spike in absences and in what classes they are in. All of that data is in the previous links that I showed you. So it's very important that you review those links to see what this information is. Now this page is going down into the directions of the assignment, and it's telling you what you need to provide in the PowerPoint. Now I have one more slide or two more slides that's going to present more, because this is where many mistakes are made. One is not finding all the data. Number two isn't following the directions. And number three isn't looking at the rubric. So I'm trying to avoid all those problems and hoping that this will help you determine what you need to put in the PowerPoint. So you need to look at the specific circumstances. You need to write 2 hypotheses, just like you were doing on the discussion board in Unit 1. They got to be testable and specific. And they got to make sense, because they're supposed to help you do further testing to determine what happened. Then for each hypothesis, you have to write 6 follow-up research questions for a total of 12 questions. That is very important. Now this is showing you the entire rubric. This is what is used to figure out your grade. It's in the announcements for Unit 2. It is also in the syllabus. And this is exactly how I measure what you need. Up here, that's your data analysis. That's worth 16 points. And you have to figure out certain things. The directions are here. They tell you exactly what is expected. Then you have to do 2 hypotheses. And then for each hypothesis, you have to do 6 questions for a total of 12. 12 questions. 6 for the first hypothesis and 6 for the second hypothesis. And then follow all of the directions as you're going down. I recommend you print this and put it next to your directions that you've printed. And then you start going through all of the data that you have found, and then it's very easy to do. It's a PowerPoint, so you don't have to go crazy. APA is expected with a PowerPoint, and you also need to have references. And the information that you got from the principal, from the department, those are references. They are information that was provided to you. So try to determine how to write the reference. I have links in my announcement, and also the Kaplan Writing Center has links. This is the last page of the presentation, and I am just focusing in on just one of the components of the grading in that rubric. This is the first one. So this goes over the content requirements. Data analysis, that is what I have been focusing in on from the beginning. You have to figure out what's going on. And you have to find at least 4 areas, and it has to be relevant. You have to look at attendance data, interview results, health department memos, and messages. You have to look at the schools, what times were students out, what days, and what classes, and what events were going on. All of that is provided. So it's not trying to trick you. the thing is that you were doing just like you did with the can. Okay, you had a can. Yeah, what did you know about it? Nothing. You knew there was a can. You didn't know what kind of supermarket or anything. So you had to do some analysis of data. All of the data about the can that you didn't know, but you had to ask me about. So remember, go back to Unit 1 discussion. I have so much information in it that if you go back, you can see exactly, you asked me questions, I gave you information. Well, same thing here. The information is provided in documents, and you have to find out this information. Then you have to figure out what's relevant, what's important. And you have to put it in a PowerPoint, and you have to go through 2 hypotheses with 12 questions that would give you more information about the hypothesis that you had, so you could determine why the kids were out. And you can get close. You don't know exactly for sure at the end, but you can get close. It takes time.